Class 7 Chemistry, Chapter 3rd. Good morning, students. So students, in our last meeting I told you about the types of mixtures, and these are homogeneous mixture and then heterogeneous mixture. So I told you that in homogeneous mixture the constituents are uniformly mixed, okay, having a uniform composition and in which the particles of different constituents are not distinctly visible. Okay, not distinctly means they are not clearly visible. For example, when you mix salt in water, so thereafter what do you see after getting dissolved that salt into water? You cannot see the salt particles. Got it? And also the salt is mixed in every right proportion in the whole water sample. So whatever the water sample you are taking out of from that mixture, it will be having the same concentration of the salt. Okay, so it means what? It means that salt has been dissolved in water uniformly. Then in heterogeneous case, the constituents are unevenly distributed. They are not uniformly distributed. And some examples are there, like soil is a heterogeneous mixture as its composition is not uniform and its constituent, that is clay, sand, stone. So in that soil, that clay, sand, stones, dead leaves and other particles are distinctly visible. Okay. And then some more examples are there which I already told you in our last meeting, that chalk powder in water can also be considered as a heterogeneous mixture because chalk powder does not get dissolved in water uniformly. You can see the large pieces of the chalk or chalk powder. Then students, I told you regarding the techniques for separating mixtures. So basically, why do we need to separate the mixtures? So I gave you the example that we get petrol to run our vehicles from petroleum, which is a mixture. Okay, now basically that petroleum is found from this beneath the earth in the form of crude petrol. Okay, now after refining that crude petrol, we get so many constituents like kerosene, petrol itself, diesel, some other gases like LPG, okay, waxy material we also get from there. So we need to have the this mixtures to be separated in their constituents. So these are the applications of the separating techniques, that is to obtain the useful components of a mixture such as petrol and diesel from petroleum. Then to separate the impurities from the useful components such as sand from iron ore. Then obtain useful pure substances such as distilled water from tap water. Okay, so we need to have the separating techniques. Some of the separating techniques you are already familiar with. Then I told you what things we should keep in our mind while going for these separating techniques. So the technique chosen depends upon the properties of the components such as size, density, solubility and boiling point. Then students, some of the separating techniques you are already familiar with, like winnowing, threshing, magnetic separation, sieving, filtration, sedimentation and decantation. In your last class, means when you were in class 6, you all of these techniques you learned there. Now some more separation techniques that we will study in detail are sublimation, evaporation using a separating funnel, and then distillation. So first, sublimation. So some of the examples, this technique also you learned in class 6. So it is used to separate solid mixture in which one component sublimates on heating. Now basically, what is the meaning of this sublimation process? So students, it is a process where the solid gets converted into the vapor phase or the gaseous phase without being converted into the liquid phase. Okay, so generally we know that solid first gets converted into the liquid and thereafter gases, but in this sublimation case, solid generally gets converted into the gas phase directly. Okay. So such components undergo sublimation, that is they change directly from a solid state to a gaseous state without changing to a liquid state. And then some examples are there: iodine, camphor, ammonium chloride, solid carbon dioxide, and naphthalene are some examples of the solid that sublimate. Okay, iodine, camphor, ammonium chloride, solid carbon dioxide, and naphthalene. You know what camphor is. Maybe you don't know what iodine is, but you might have heard about iodine, which we take along with the salt, iodized salt likewise. Okay. Maybe this ammonium chloride, it is new to you people, but this camphor, this naphthalene, you already know. Okay. So let us see. Sublimation can be used to separate a mixture of ammonium chloride and salt. Maybe some other salt is there which is mixed with the ammonium chloride. Now you need to separate this ammonium chloride from the salt. Now one thing is there, that one of the component should be easily sublimable. Okay, so in this case ammonium chloride and some other salt which is sublimable, this ammonium chloride. So the mixture is heated in a china dish and covered with a glass funnel whose neck is plugged with cotton wool. So students, okay, they have not shown you the china dish over here in this diagram, but here in this figure you can see it is a sort of bowl or china dish. Okay, so here you can see it is there, the china dish is here of a very smaller length, you can say, or height dimension, you can say. Okay, so in this it is a sort of plate here. Okay, and there you kept the ammonium chloride along with some other salt. Okay, and now you are heating from below. This is your funnel. Okay, this is your funnel, and here you have plugged this mouth with this cotton plug. Okay, now students, as you are heating that ammonium chloride, it vaporizes, because I already told you that ammonium chloride can easily sublime. Okay, so when you are heating the ammonium chloride from this mixture, it will just go upside in the vapor form. Now the vapors cool down and change to a solid state again on touching the cool inner surface of the funnel. So as the vapors, they are going upside. Now this funnel, this inverted funnel, it is the cool surface. Okay, maybe it is hot, somewhat hot from here, but there when you are rising up, it is a cool surface. So the vapors, they will cool down over here, and once again they will solidify. So what you have done? So out of the mixture of ammonium chloride and salt, you have taken out, or you have separated the ammonium chloride. Okay, and this technique of separation of ammonium chloride from the salt is called sublimation. So ammonium chloride collects on the inner surface of the funnel as a sublimate, and the salt is left behind as a residue in the china dish. So let us see the labeling also. So this is your burner, and it is a stand, and this particular stand is called tripod stand. Okay, basically it is having 3 legs, like 1, 2, and one has not been shown over here, so that's why the name has come up, that is tripod. Okay, 3 legs it is having. So maybe if I draw like this, so you will have the idea. Okay, from back side I am drawing. So tripod stand, it is there. Then wire gauge is also there. Okay, so above tripod stand we are putting a wire gauge, which is acting as a heat to transfer the heat. Then it is also acting, this wire gauge is also acting a sort of base, you can say. Then above that wire gauge we have kept this china dish. It is a sort of bowl only. Then here the labeling says that it is ammonium chloride, which is a cooled one. And this is your inverted funnel, and here there is cotton plug, and then vapors of ammonium chloride. So some shady shades they might have drawn over here, so they are showing these the vapors. And then it is also this one, it is the mixture of ammonium chloride and some other salt. So students, this is all for today. Goodbye.